Now, before we head out to the resort by today, I do ask that everyone does the entire safari, even when we're stopped, and also make sure all children are completely seated on your laps on the seat next to you.
What are you
Also, we
doing?
call these animals over, make kissing noise at them, scream at them, holler at them, clap at them, whistle at them. They're not going to react at all, so you'll just look silly doing it. And last but not least, my friends have an absolute wild time out here. Let's head around.
I'm so
Our journey begins
excited.
here in the Little Turkey Forest, which is home to
Yeah, why is that
sunshine and
not
it's
green?
animals. We're also mountain
We're in the water.
You might not be able to see some of them right from the get-go, but that's what I'm here for. Now, up on this right-hand side, we are going to see an okapi. Okapis are big brown antelope with zebra-like stripes on their hindquarters and their upper legs.
You see it?
But they're actually not related to zebra at all. However, the okapi is the closest known relative to the giraffe because of its skull shape. Now, it also has a very long tongue like a giraffe. It's about 13 inches long. And if it really wanted to, the okapi could literally lick its own eyeball. Now, the large body going to our left tends to be a very popular
Well, what is that? There's an animal right there in the street. There's an animal right there.
Survival. Take a look right around over here. Oh, I actually do see a black rhino on the other side of the water, all the way back there. Let's see. Now, black rhinos can weigh up to 3,000 pounds, and sadly, there's one of less than 5,000 left in the entire world. And they don't have any natural predators, but they are being poached by humans with beautiful horns, which are made of keratin. The exact same protein as your hair, skin, and fingernails. So similar to us having fat on our nails, these rhinos have to file down their horns. And to do so, they're going to find something hard like a tree or a rock and just keep rubbing their horns against it until it's the desired shape and length they want it to be. Because those horns are continuously growing. Now, up on this left-hand side, there are two different kinds of animals. The tan ones, those are called red or kudu, and the orangey ones, those are called bongos. Now, both of these antelope are actually distant relatives of each other, and on their backs there are around 13 stripes, which will help them camouflage by mimicking either tall grass, bamboo, lichen through tall trees. Those stripes kind of break up their silhouettes a little bit. That's why it's hard to see.
Super wobbly.
Now, we will be taking the center road to make our way over to Sapi River, and Sapi has home to many aquatic animals, so make sure you all keep your eyes down in the water while still remain seated. Over here, we're looking for big movement down in the water.
Look at all these.
A little bit further down the river.
Oh, look at the birds up there. Yeah.
Now, on the left-hand side, there are lighter colored birds on the island. It's called pink-backed pelicans, and they get their name from the pink coloration that appears on their back during mating season. Their wingspan is also about 7 to 9 feet wide, which is about as wide as a canopy right above your heads. Just an idea of how big that is. Now, a group of pelicans is called a pod, and in this pod you can usually find around 20 to 500 pairs of pelicans. So in that pod you can find up to around 1,000 pelicans. They are extremely social birds. And all these black birds you're seeing, they come from a very, very far away land called Orlando, Florida. Those are black vultures. They're not too special, but they do fly a long way from all the way here to Africa, so I have to point them out. I also like to call them freeloaders. You see them all over the place.
Look at that bridge.
Yeah, I'm assuming there's an animal in the middle of the road. So we are just gonna hang out here for a quick minute. Slowly but surely, friends. We'll get a little bit closer to these crocodiles, though. Get it on the left-hand side. We're about to go a lot of crocodiles. I'm sure everyone's too seated. Have you noticed some of these crocodiles are hanging out their mouths open right now? They're going to stay with it for quite a long time just to regulate their body temperature. They're just making sure they're not getting too hot or too cold. But if they start to overheat and hang out their mouth open, it's not doing the trick for them. They will just slip into the water and let the water cool down their core body temperature. But these now crocodiles are about as long as a giraffe is tall, which is on average about 16 to 20 feet in length.
Wow.
And they can weigh up to around 500 pounds. And they have the capability of eating half of their body weight in just one meal. That one meal can weigh up to around 250 pounds and last them over 2 weeks long. And they're also pretty fast on land. They can get to about 15 miles per hour. But they do go into this almost hibernating state for every 2 weeks when they get their big meal.
There's so
I
many.
love that.
There's another one.
Now these crocodiles also do lay eggs, and the mothers will help these eggs hatch by just keeping it in their mouth and just tossing it around between their teeth. Now we are on our way over to the savannah now. Savannah is one of the most popular ecosystems in Africa. It's like the most iconic
So
animals.
windy.
Like wild dogs, giraffes, elephants, lions, wildebeest,
Oh,
warthogs,
Simba!
plenty of cool animals that you might recognize as the Lion King. So we can find everyone's favorite animal out there. The animals have been pretty active today.
Oh, I think this is where we see the flamingos near the
Now,
giraffe.
take a look on the right-hand side of the chart. We're going to see this very weird-looking tree with no leaves. It's called a baobab, and the baobab only has leaves for about 3 months out of the year in order to conserve water. And larger animals like rhinos and elephants will either poke holes in those tree trunks or rip off some of the bark completely sometimes to get water from it during droughts, because these tree trunks can hold up to around 10,000 gallons of water in them, which is how the baobabs get the nickname the tree of life. Now that's the upside down tree. It doesn't look like someone just picks them up and turn them upside down. The branches do look like roots.
Uh-oh, we're going over those bumpy things again. Oh.
Coming down this hill to the end of the savannah is by far my favorite part out of the entire reserve, because you
You
get
might
to
see
see beautiful
Simba
view
again.
of the vast landscape that the savannah has to offer. Now we're going to see plenty of trees all around us right now because the savannah is one of the most fertile places located here in Africa, so vegetation is prosperous. Now because of this, you can
Oh, look, I think I see a zebra.
And these grazers include cattle, wildebeest, antelope, basically any herbivores. So they will be eating the vegetation all day long. Now this is kind of hard to see, but on the right hand side there's a little opening between the brush. Now you can see some very, very tiny antelope right in the
Over
middle.
there.
No.
Those antelope are called springbok. They have tan back, white belly, and dark brown stripe on the side.
There's one
Oh,
on
we
my
can find
side.
some more in just a little bit because they're very hard to see. But the springbok get their name from their ability to spring 6 feet in the air from a standing position and leap 13 feet in the air. Now they are the smallest antelope, so they can only be about 3 feet tall if that. But they're one of the world's top 10 fastest animals, and they can get up to about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Now on the right hand side, a lot more visible, we're going to see these Ankole cattle with these very large horns. Now you might be thinking,
I think it's a boy.
how in the world are they keeping their heads up with those very heavy horns? Well, trust me, they're not that heavy. They're practically hollow because they do have a honeycomb-like structure throughout them, so they leave a lot of little pockets. Those pockets just allow blood to circulate throughout and act as a cooling system. So blood will leave the body, go into those horns, cool down, and go right back into the body. Now each horn can be about 5 feet in length, and from tip they can be up to 6 feet apart. So horns are massive, but they can only weigh up to about 15 pounds total. So they're really not that heavy. Each horn weighs about 5 to 7.5 pounds. And there are some giraffes on the right-hand side of the truck. Those are Maasai giraffes. You can identify them based on their irregular shaped spots all over their backs. Now, no two giraffes look exactly the same because the spots are unique to each individual giraffe using their human's fingerprints. A quick way from the giraffes, on the left-hand side of the truck, we are going to see some antelope a little bit further back there.
My
Those are
side.
stable antelopes, and they are the emblem of our reserve. And the horns point backwards to protect their backs from any predators. So just in case any lions
Look at that
step on their
guy.
backs, they are able to protect themselves.
He's really big.
They're getting very close to Ankole cattle on the left-hand side. You can definitely see how big their horns are. You might know the Ankole cattle as the Watusi cattle.
Look at
The
the
Watusi tribe domesticated them, and they're also the only domestic animal left here on the reserve.
What is
Now,
that?
in their society, they use the cattle as a currency. So the more cattle your family owned, the richer you were.
seen
Now, all
one
these mounds we're
thing.
driving by, these are called termite mounds, and they are made of dirt, dung, dust, and saliva. And after they spend time baking in the sun, they become as hard as concrete. So larger animals like those giraffes like to rub up against the taller mounds, treat them like a scratchy coast. While smaller animals like the springbok, we're going to get another look of in just a minute, they like to jump up on top of the smaller mounds so they can get a better idea of what's in the area. To the mountain, a lookout post.
Safari.
Well, let's talk about these giraffes a little bit
Oh,
more.
I think I see
These
cows
guys
up
only sleep about
ahead.
30 minutes out of the day.
Don't you see
if
cows?
that. And they won't even sleep it all at once
I
either.
think those are
So
cows.
instead they will take short little intervals, kind of like mini that stand there, ranging from a few seconds to a few minutes. It's only been sleep standing up with your eyes wide open sometimes, just to trick predators into thinking that they're awake and alert. Not because they barely sleep, you can usually find them eating. On an average day, these giraffes will spend about 20 hours out of the day munching away. And they do have very long tongues, like I mentioned, they have these.
Giraffes are called graceful. Did you know
So
that,
when
mommy?
the giraffe is tall, that's all they're itched on their tongue.
No,
So
giraffe is actually a different language. It's graceful.
And it's a prehensile tongue, which means it's going to act
Someone
somewhat
dropped
like
a
a
piece of
hand.
paper on the safari ride.
So springboks, they are a lot more visible on the right-hand side of the truck. Very tiny antelope, tan-back, white belly, and dark brown stripe along the sides. Like I said, one of the world's top 10 fastest animals.
Oh, I
And they
see
also
them.
do this thing called pronking. So pronking is when they combine their ability to spring that high, as well as get those fast beats into one. Kind of just jumping around at a very fast pace. There has a herd of white-bearded wildebeest on the right-hand side. The names in Afrikaans means wild beast. And once the sun sets, they will start settling in for the night in rows facing all different directions as a defense mechanism. So the idea is that if any predators come along, they can get out of the area and not collide
They
with
look
one
like
another.
crabs.
And they also have eyes in every single direction, so they're constantly looking out for each other's backs. Here's a one big family that herd.
Well,
Let's talk about these giraffes a little bit more. Looks like we're approaching the rest of the tower. Now we're going to see some baby giraffes coming up on both sides of the
oh, I
truck
think it's
as
on the
well.
road.
Oh,
I know, I see it. Oh, the baby.
Now get very close to them, take a look at their heads. There's two little horns sticking out, right? Well, those are called ossicones, and when they're first born, they are cartilage, so it does not hurt the mother when they give birth. But as they mature, those ossicones harden and become part of their skull. So they're not horns, they're actually their bones. We are surrounded by 5 baby giraffes right now. 4 on the left, 1 on the right. They're an excellent look. And when they are fully grown, though, their hearts will be about 2 feet in length. They go up to 25 pounds. Because of this, they have very high blood pressure, so they can't keep their heads down for too long. They actually have the highest blood pressure of any mammal, as well as one of the largest animal hearts in general. So I think it's pretty neat.
Wow. Whoa.
If you take a look on the right-hand side of the truck, we are going to see a beautiful African elephant all the way back there. There's actually 2 of them back there. But you can identify that they're specifically African elephants based on their ear shape. And their ears are literally shaped by the continent of Africa, so it's very easy to remember. African elephant, they're shaped like Africa. Now, usually on a very hot day like today, you can find these elephants moving their ears all around. And they're going to have actually 2 built-in fans. And by simply moving the ears around just a little bit, it can cool their body temperature down by about 15 degrees. So it's very beneficial for them to have small movable figures of theirs. Very just jealous about that. I wish I had 2 built-in fans. It's extremely hot today. So we'll find some more elephants, my friends. Maybe the whole herd of them. Now, elephant herds, they mainly consist of all females and males ages about 12 years old and younger. And once the males reach ages 13 to 14 years old, they do leave the group because they are pretty solitary animals, as well as very territorial. Now we're going to hang out here for a little bit because there's an animal in the middle of the road. Do I know what kind of animal it is?
Can't say it.
A rhino. Yeah, they are pretty big and pretty stubborn. Now they're also a little blind as well because rhinos can only see about 10 feet in front of them, if that. So on the in the middle of the road, they have no idea. Now, Where they lack for an eyesight, they do make up for in other senses such as hearing, so they are also really good listeners. That's we've been going pretty slowly right now. We're really close to right in a few minutes. But until then, we just show through some red clay pits, and red clay is full of nutrients. So oftentimes you can find animals like elephants ripping off the clay and
Oh,
eating
look, I
it.
see hoof
And they go into like a diet.
I think
series
that's
of
elephant
animals.
prints.
Oh, yeah.
Elephant hoof prints.
More elephants on the left. Until then, our conservation team discovered that elephants are surprisingly
Squirrels.
terrified of honeybees. I know it's
I
pretty
too.
surprising. Animal size of an elephant scare of a tiny little bee, but because of the size of their ears, they can hear them from about a mile away. So our team had farmers in Kenya build beehive fences around their harvest to protect it from the crop-raiding elephants. So the farmers benefit from their harvest and the sales of the honey, while
So
these
much grass.
elephants also benefit because they are not being harmed in any way by the farmers who are just trying to protect their land. So it's a win-win situation. Any conservation efforts help these elephants because they're extremely endangered. There's only about 450,000 elephants left out there in the wild. That's about 92 elephants are being poached every single day just for those beautiful ivory tusks. That's about one elephant every 15 minutes, just to give you an idea of how many that is. That's hard to come back from a number like that because, like I just said, they are endangered, and an elephant's pregnancy is about 2 years long. Now, this is where you can come in. You can help out by simply not purchasing anything ivory. I know it's a very, very small change in your life, but my friends, as long as we all don't purchase ivory, they can live long lives. Because currently these elephants are living longer in captivity, so rather out in the wild because of poachers. Really sad. That's why conservation is such an important thing. And if you'd also like to help, we do have this great program called the Disney Conservation Fund, and you can go back to any of the shops back in the village, and if you choose to, you can actually donate money, and Disney will match your donation dollar per dollar. So if you donate $1, Disney will donate $1, and 100% of the proceeds does go towards our nonprofit organization. So everyone can help out every animal that we are seeing today if you want to help. It's a great program we got going on. We should get going in just a minute. I can see some trucks moving up a little bit further ahead. But while we're just sitting here, if there's any questions for me, feel free to ask me. My windows are always open. Literally, always open. Even when it's raining, it gets pretty wet back there.
Traffic jam.
What?
Traffic jam.
Yep. So currently, we are having animal programs go out and try to tempt the rhinos out of the road with food. We don't want to do that right away though, because then the rhinos will learn if I stand on the road, I get food. And they're gonna stand on the road all day long. So we're just waiting for animal programs to get out there, and they're gonna just try and tempt them out of the way with probably some lettuce. But if the rhinos don't want to get out of the way, then we're not gonna make them get out of the way. We are in their home. But yeah, notice any questions? And I've been talking a lot, it's what I do best. Drive and talk. Alright, so just informed all the rhinos are out of the road. So I just got all the trucks start moving in front of us and we will be on the move. I really do appreciate everyone's patience.
When is your truck gonna move?
Oh, I see movement. That's a good sign. Well, on the bright side, at least we're all sitting down on the truck in the shade rather than standing in line.
No, it's not really sure. Please filling me.
Now this is kind of hard to see, but I actually see some elephants walking around in the distance. Up on the left-hand side, kind of walking around all the way up there. So there's about 3 of them walking around. Very far away. Now those elephants actually do eat a lot of food. On average, they will be eating about 500 pounds of food every single day. They need to be able to maintain that body weight. And to eat, they will wrap their trunks around the food and bring it up into their mouths. And those